And we're live, and if my eyeballs are correct, hey, I even got the right microphone turned on. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody! It's the first time I've live streamed all year. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope I am seeing everybody in the chats in the live chat before I actually came on screen. I thought, oh, there, Mason is back. Okay, somebody referenced like, "Hey, Mason," and then like was gone, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm not seeing everybody. But I think for a while I had top chat versus live chat, which I honestly do not understand what the difference. Who determines what's top chat? How do you get to be a top chatter as opposed to a live chatter? I don't understand that. It seems very suspicious when top chat filters out people. I don't know. I don't know how that works. So anyway, I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. I realize it's actually still a holiday, but it feels like the end, right? It feels like we've been through the gauntlet of December, the gauntlet of 2022. Let's see. Oh, YouTube was running really bad. Okay. Oh, hold on. I forgot I can do this. YouTube was running really bad. Everything buffering. Good. Glad it's all working well. Lewis. Oh, greetings. I'm trying to remember if I remember having anybody from Chile here. I don't know. You may be the first. So welcome. We're a pretty friendly group. And, yeah, top chat. I don't understand how that works. Truly. I mean, I get the idea, right? Like if there's so many people chatting at the same time, which we don't have that issue here yet. I guess, but we don't have that issue here. But yeah, I don't know how something is determined to be a top chatter, and I don't like that. Is top chat like people can only chat if they're subscribed? Oh, now that would be interesting. Um, I mean, at least that would be like a metric or a like a way to decide other than some arbitrary rule. Um, uh, Phil M. Gabe says maybe for repeat comments. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do research now. If anybody knows like definitively, um, I'm just curious. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter here nor there. I'm just really curious how top chat is decided. Um, Anybody a fan of like just carbonated water, like flavored carbonated water, like LaCroix or whatever brand you happen to have? They have them like caffeinated now, which probably thinking, Sean, the last thing you need is caffeine, but caffeine actually just kind of calms me down. So, but I'm a big fan. Some people really hate it. Like my wife is not a fan, but I really do. I really like just the flavored carbonated water. All right, so it looks like, let's see. Google. Viewers can choose between two views of live chat at any time. Top chat. This view filters messages such as potential spam to help make chat easier to read and more useful. A live chat is not filtered. Okay, so that seems a little bit strange, right? I mean, might be spam be filtered out anyway? Because we're going down a small rabbit hole tangent kind of thing. If I'm like, if there's a bunch of people in the chat and one of them is a spammer, that doesn't display in live chat either. In fact, I get a message saying like, this potentially looks like spam. Unfortunately, it's usually my friend Lewis from Portugal, which everybody's probably familiar with. I don't think he's here right now, but he'll like send links, and apparently that flag gets him flagged as a spammer. So I have to like manually approve him. But I don't know. That seems hinky. If you switch to top chat in a busy stream like Project for Awesome live streams with like John and Hank Green, yeah, it seems to go slower so you can actually read it. But I don't think the ones they filter out are all spam. That seems a little presumptuous. Anyway, it is what it is, and it doesn't terribly matter for us here right now because we can keep up with each other. So anyway, that's gosh, we made it through the 90 days of mayhem. I have to admit, like the last week or so, I didn't update the website. It was just such a crazy time here. We had like in-laws staying with us, and we had, I mean, holidays, multiple holidays, one right after another. And then we had COVID in the house right before Christmas. And now one of my other daughters doesn't live with us, but their family has COVID. So it's just been crazy. So I did do a video every day. Some days it was really phoning it in. Literally, some of them are just recorded on my phone. But managed to get all 90 days in. In fact, this would be 91. I guess this is day 91. And if you follow Techno Tim, his channel where he was doing like 100 days of home lab, he's like on day 200 now or something. He just kept going. But Mason, no, I'm not going to extend it to 180 days. It's not like I'm going to stop making videos. I guess this live stream is proof of that. But yeah, I don't want to be shamed or guilted into posting a video. I feel like that's going to reduce the quality quite a bit. But I think it was a good exercise. It made me produce so I didn't get like stuck in my little perfectionist / procrastination groove. So it was good. I'm glad we did it. A little glad that it's over, so I don't have to feel guilty when I just 2 or 3 days ago, it was like a dad joke. I thought it was a pretty good dad joke, but it was a dad joke. If you missed it, it was trying to remember what it was. What is big, has 4 legs, is fuzzy and green, and if it fell out of a tree, it would kill you? A pool table. And then I added no, not me. I only have 2 legs because I'm green and fuzzy. So anyway, that was one of the videos. That was it for the day. So, so yeah, it is. This week, I have been focusing on my office, and not just because, I'm a grown man and I should have a clean office, but because if my office is usable and I can't, I don't think this camera turns that way. Let's see. Oh, it does. Well, look at that. Okay, so yeah, that is my workbench over there, which is actually in a usable state, which I think is just awesome because I can start doing some things over there, like with soldering and or Raspberry Pis and whatever else I want to do. Am I still in focus? Yeah. Um, and so I'm looking forward to that. I even got like drawers up for like resistors and all the things that you need little drawers for. I'm gonna run smart lighting strips around my office. Right now it's around about half of my office, which you can't really see this light that's coming down from above on the back. It's a light strip across the whole top of my office, and I want to do that all the way around just to provide more light. This room doesn't have a standard light, like in the middle of the ceiling where you flip it on and the lights come on. This doesn't have one of those. It was designed, there is a switch by the door, but it just turns on one of the outlets, like a lamp thing, which is fine, but it doesn't light up the room enough, especially for video production. So, can't tell you my Raspberry Pis. Oh, I know. Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't have any new Raspberry Pis. I might have one Raspberry Pi 4. I don't even think I have a single Raspberry Pi 4. I have a Raspberry Pi version 3 that I do several things with, and I've like made tiny computers for like bird cam and stuff. And then I have an Arduino board and all of the circuitry to do an RF link for Home Assistant. That's actually the first soldering project I think I'm going to do, is creating an RF link add-on for my Home Assistant. We have the like temporary variable storage. Oh, did I not do that? Okay, so Scott, I will make that. It's going to be a YouTube short because it's pretty simplistic. But I will do that. I'm so sorry I didn't do that. We talked about that before. Yeah, it's a just kind of a hacky way that I will store semi-persistent data. It doesn't last through reboots, but it also doesn't require writing to the hard drive. So yeah, I will. Are you ready? New year, right? I got to flip over a new leaf. So I have a tablet. It looks like Blue's Clues tablet, but it's a Rocket notebook that I haven't used before. And so I already forgot. Oh, it's Dev Shim Short. Wrote it down, which I know you can't see, and the pen is kind of dead. I'm so bad at writing things down. Oh, Phil M. Gabe, thank you so much for the super chat. That's awesome. That's the very first super chat of the year. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. So thank you. And Scott, yes, I wrote it down, so I'll do that. It'll be a YouTube short. Let's see. Have I done any videos on UHD for my home NAS? What do we mean by UHD? That's an acronym I can't place in my head. So maybe no, but please let me know what you mean, and maybe I just didn't know that acronym. Dwayne, welcome. Emergency run to the store. Oh my gosh. So as soon as I catch up on chats, I'll tell you about some of my Christmas presents. And one of them was used today, and oh my goodness. Yeah, Raspberry Pis are ridiculously expensive. And if you're here, you probably at least know who Jeff Geerling is. I'm always jealous when I see like his collection, which it's not like he's buying them fresh. He has a bunch of them. But yeah, it's funny. It's like Scrooge McDuck with piles of gold, but they're just like Raspberry Pis and compute modules. Oh, Happy New Year to you as well, Dwayne. I have a handful of the ESP30 80. Hold on. I think that those initials are a little bit, I think it's 8266. Is that what they are? ESP8266, or maybe this is something different too. SSP30, but I also have the ESP32. I don't have an ESP32. I have the ESP80. 620, whatever the lesser one is. I have a handful of those, and I haven't done anything with them yet, but I kind of want to. I have to come up with some cool projects. 2 Raspberry Pi 3s. Ooh, nice. Yeah, so I still have a Raspberry Pi B that is in Austria, and it is there was a company in Austria who was doing free co-location if you sent them a Raspberry Pi. This is 10 years ago now, 22, 23. Yeah, it was sometime around like 2012, 2013, maybe 2014. Anyway, when the Raspberry Pi 2 came out, they offered anybody who sent them a Raspberry Pi that they would colo it for free, and you got a static IP, and you could use it forever. And it's still there. Now, about 3 years ago, the SD card that it booted from finally died. It was just an off-the-shelf SD card, and after years and years and years of use, it died. And so I was like, oh, that sucks. And so I contacted them. I think I contacted them, and they said that if I sent a new SD card and a new USB stick, they would swap them out. So I figured, what the heck? And so I bought enterprise grade, like surveillance stuff, like for surveillance cameras where they're like designed to be written over and over and over. And then I got a enterprise class USB stick, which is designed for like hundreds of thousands of writes or something. And I had a Raspberry Pi B here, and I installed the OS, and then I packaged it up and shipped it to Austria. And like a month and a half later, they finally got the package, put it in, and my Raspberry Pi is still working. So it's still there. It's the original Raspberry Pi B, the first one with an Ethernet port, and it's been freely co-located for me in Austria ever since. So anyway, I don't know how I got down that thing. Oh, because Samples and Tests has some Gen B boards. Yeah, me too. Let's see, a Pi 4. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you're like, okay, I don't really have a use for it, but I could use 3 times the, the money that I paid for it. Yeah, and I understand both the desire to like make money, but also like feeling bad about it. So I don't have advice for you. I would probably just I would probably like sell it at the cost I did, or give it away because I'm dumb like that. Blue's Clues is great. And it's so funny. If you see the original Steve, like, he's around now. He's completely bald. And, you know, he doesn't do kid stuff, but I've seen him interviewed. I don't remember like what he's doing now, but it was interesting to see him as like a grown up, and like he's lost his hair now and stuff. So it was interesting. And then it was Steve, and then was it Joe? Was Joe the next one? Because I think there's somebody completely different now. And my children are all grown up, so I don't watch it often. But my granddaughter, I'll be watching kid shows again. UHD DVD. I have not used UHD DVD. No, I haven't used that. So I have ripped a few Blu-ray discs, like movies. I've ripped some of them, but never to like an ISO like format. It's always been like to a lossy format, like to, you know, to MP4 or something like that. And I don't do any 4K video. So like myself personally, I know that the stuff I have would support it. But I still do 1080p for all of my movies. And even if I have like I don't think I've ever even ripped a high def Blu-ray, anything 4K. I think 1080p has been all that I've done. So, no, I haven't. Although I mean, I could, you know, explore, talk about it, that sort of a thing. Do you have a video on your mic setup? No, and it's changed so much. So, Sam, I don't know how long you've been following the channel, but about how long's it been? Like a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 months now. I had to switch from, I was using Windows as my recording station, and then I switched to all Linux for several reasons. My Windows machine was being weird, and I didn't realize it was being weird until after I'd record something and it'd be all choppy, and I got angry. So anyway, I switched to Linux on the desktop, and that came with a whole bunch of awkward frustrations because of my monitor setup and like different scaling for different monitors and like different rotation and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, It's changed. What I used before this, I had a. I'll get it. Hang on. I was using a Wave XLR when I had Windows, but these do not work on Linux. I was also using this on Windows, and it does not work on Linux. But that's another story altogether. Right now, for my mic setup, I am using Scarlett 2i2 USB audio device. It's just the red Scarlett 2i2. It's like it might be first gen, but they all seem to work pretty well. So it doesn't matter like what gen it is. But that and this, honestly, this is absurdly expensive. I don't need something this fancy, but this is an Electro Voice RE20, so an EV RE20, and its claim to fame. Well, I mean, it's been around forever. So if you ever watch Frasier, the show Frasier, this is the microphone that he uses on his show in the TV show, the show about the radio show. But I like it because it has this thing. I don't remember what they call it, but like when you get closer, like most mics get super duper boomy, and this one, I mean, it still increases the depth or whatever, but it's not as boomy. I don't remember what they call it, but anyway, that's what I have here. This is just it's an RE20 on a Scarlett 2i2 just plugged into USB, and anything else is, and it's not filtered. It's not. I have that's not entirely true. I have in OBS. I have the noise reduction filter added, just or background noise. Background noise. What is it called? Let's see. Filters, noise suppression. That's what it's called. Just the standard noise suppression filter. Because in the summertime when I have my air conditioner going, you can hear it rattle. So I have that turned on. But that is it. That's what my mic setup is. I don't have a video on it. Sorry. I guess that was it. That was the live. You got to see the live video about my microphone setup. Oh, I know, Jeff, man. Yeah, he seems to be doing well now. I mean, he had to go back into the hospital and, but he's home now and there have been a couple videos out and like he just posted that video about his recovery. So yeah, I'm glad he's doing well. Oh crud. I'm way behind. All right. I'm going to mumble my read. Oh, the ESP8266. Okay. That was it. Austrian server, yes, free colo, which they're not doing anymore, and they did limit it. Oh, you can only do like 100 gigabytes a month, but it's fine. I don't use it for anything other than like remote testing. Shane, welcome. That is okay. Yeah, no judgment zone here. Sent to us Python script every day. Automatic. So it depends. Yeah. As far as doing something every day, I often use crontab for stuff, and that is a pretty reliable way to do. If it's something that repeats, probably crontab is the best way to do it. That would be my recommendation anyway. I like cron, and especially if it's working in cron, I don't see any reason to fix it. So yeah, cron would be the way that I would do it. Raspberry as a Pi-hole and Samba server. I used Pi-hole for a while and it gave me issues. And I don't know if it was my underlying Wi-Fi that was causing problems because I've had some issues with my Unify Wi-Fi system. Like one of my APs was flaking out and everything's still not perfect. I'm a little bit frustrated with my Ubiquity stuff right now, specifically for Wi-Fi. But I had problems with Pi-hole. So I just went back to and I use just standard DNS mask. And right now I'm actually using the DNS and DHCP on my router, which is something I haven't done for so many years, but pfSense is pretty beefy. And so now I'm running it on pfSense, which I know nobody asked, but that's what I'm doing. Sorry. Yeah, that was it. It's the RE20 and then the Scarlett 2i2. 12 days of solid uptime. Awesome. Oh, I'm curious what my uptime is. Hold on. All right. Smells like Updog. What's Updog? Not much. What's up with you? Time. 13 days and 4 hours. I win by 1 day. I have no idea what happened 13 days ago, but something did. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Oh, is there a Linux CLI that I can use to rip audio from a CD? Oh, gosh, I have not ripped an audio CD in so long. I'm positive there is. I mean, absolutely positive that there's a way to rip it off a CD player and convert it to MP3s. Yeah, I don't know the current software though, but I'm absolutely positive that there's a way. Yeah. Oh, darn it. It scrolled too fast. Let's see. Sam, so far, so good. And, that'll bring me back to some of my gifts here. I'm having a hard time keeping up with, you know what? We talked about top chat versus live chat, and here I am having a hard time keeping up with chat. Y'all are too awesome. Boominess. Yeah. And they have a special word for it. So if you look up RE20 boominess, they have I don't remember what they call it. It might be on it. No, they have a term for it. They call it something that they just made up. It's not like an audio term. It's just a term they made up to get rid of that boominess. Bjorn, it's all right. It's just been a fun thing. We talked about top chat versus live chat, and that's pretty much it. SMB1. I had to do some. What did I need SMB1 for? I remember, and it's not currently set up, and I don't know why. But we have Sonos speakers all over our house, and they're like the original ones when they first came out, like Sonos 1. Yeah, before they like switched and they tried to make people upgrade, and there was big uproar, myself included. And so they're like, oh no, you can still use them, which is good because they still work. But in order to use a local music library, it has to be shared off Samba or SMB1, and try to find something to serve out SMB1 anymore. That was tough. So I think I might have set up a Linux container even and forced SMB1. I don't remember, but it's not working. So whatever I did, like updated itself or something. Looking to save power. Don't need on a week. Oh, smart plug. So, okay. Here's a thought, Mason. You could get a smart plug, and before you power it down, no, but I don't know if that would say you could, before you send the command to unplug it, you could send the shutdown command. But what I don't know then, if it doesn't have wake on LAN, I don't know how you get it to turn back on. Let's see if it has wake on LAN. That would, and then can send. So if it has wake on LAN, you can send it a magic packet that will wake it up. So like you could turn the power on, and even if it doesn't power up automatically, if it has wake on LAN, you could send the magic packet to tell it to turn on. So that's what I would explore, is the wake on LAN ability. Oh man, I got a retracted message. I don't know what it was. What it was, a secret to life, the universe, and everything. Raspberry Pi 3 has been up for 130 days. All right, now you're just bragging. So it's more than Linux stability with that kind of uptime. You're like bragging for you're bragging on your power, your power company. I mean, unless you have battery backup, and then you're bragging on that. But yeah, it seems like I always get, my uptime almost always will point back to when we had a power outage. That really does seem to be the thing. Catherine, welcome. This is my friend Catherine, everybody. If you don't know Catherine, this is everybody. Catherine and I worked at Linux Journal together, and as you can see on her icon on the screen there, she now runs the Reality 2.0 podcast, which is awesome. Almost caught up. Do I have PF Sense in front of me? Unify? Yes. No. Well, yes and no. I have. I used to run, and it's still actually, I think, in my rack, just not turned on. Unify. What are they called? Unify Security Gateway, USG. Yes, USG, Unify Security Gateway. I had a small one in my house, and then out at the farm, I had the rack mount USG Pro. I had a Dream Machine for a while, and it's unlike me to send a product back, but I did send that product back. Something about it drove me nuts, and I don't remember what. What was it about it that I hated so much? I think maybe I couldn't address individual ports on it or something. I don't know. Anyway, but I had USGs, but then I really wanted to use pfSense because of multiple things. The ability to graphically control multiple external IP addresses on the WAN, which you can't do in Unify still, and also to run VPN software. Like I use WireGuard right on my pfSense router, and then I have a site-to-site to my farm with pfSense, and so I really wanted to use pfSense. And then the folks at Netgate actually sent me one to review. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm totally switching to pfSense. So I actually unplugged my Unify routers. I still have Unify running for my switches, and I use Unify Protect for my video cameras here and at the farm. And then I have Wi-Fi using Unify, but I don't have it as a router anymore. So it's just behind my pfSense router. Yeah, I know. I mean, recently though, right, Catherine? It hasn't always been like weird power issues, or maybe it has. It's just because of the cold being an issue that I've worried about y'all more recently. But yeah, power. I wish that I had solar and significant battery backup both here and at the farm. I have not solar yet. It's solar capable. I don't have any panels yet, but at the farm I think my battery, I have a big lithium iron phosphate battery and an inverter, and everything runs off of an inverter on battery. And then, if the power, and then it bypasses the power if the power goes out or whatever. I think it'd last a few hours, but I don't have long-term anything. I'd have to fire up a generator. So anyway. Nope. Before Catherine's not a CBT Nuggets coworker. She was a Linux coworker. Catherine ran all of the website stuff. Yeah. If you ever saw anything online at Linux Journal when I was working there, Catherine's the reason that it happened. So yeah, she was in charge of all the web stuff at Linux Journal. And probably she said that, and she can speak for herself, and I. Hello. Oh, awesome. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I do like when my videos are helpful. Seriously, and I mean that's not being silly. It's the motivation for me to release them. So that's awesome. Bit of Google software called Wake on LAN. Yeah. Oh, did I not say that? Did I just think that? Wake on LAN? I meant to say Wake on LAN, Mason. That was my recommendation for the power thing. So yeah, if your NAS supports Wake on LAN, that would be the thing I would do, because you send that magic packet even if it's off, and the network card can wake up the NAS or the computer or whatever if it supports it. So I think the video card has to, or not the video card, the network card has to support it. But I would assume that a NAS device would probably, unless it's only designed to be on 24/7. I don't know, but that would be my recommendation. Linuxy stuff from Sean. Let's be honest, Catherine, we both learn everything about Linux from Kyle. He's just too stinking smart. If you don't know Kyle Rankin, he's probably the smartest Linux person I know. Makes me sick because he's also super kind and can do everything. I talk about a good friend like I'm angry at him. I'm not. Kyle's awesome. But yeah, so this is a true story about Catherine. I would, when I was doing stuff for my own website, like brainofsean.com or whatever, obviously linuxjournal.com, Catherine did all that stuff, but she was the person who knows web stuff better than anyone I know. And so I would always say, okay, will you look at my webpage? See that stupid thing on the side where like it's not lined up? Can you help me with CSS? And Catherine has written more CSS things for me than anyone in history, but I still never understood it. She just like somehow made the magic happen. And yeah. Mason, let us know, even in like the Discord or something. I'm curious if it's going to work for you. I've never in my life used wake on LAN. I just know that it's supposedly for that exact reason. So I'm curious to see how it goes. Oh, your batteries are dead. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Samples and tests. I don't know what country you're in. If you're in the US, maybe Canada, I don't know how they ship, but if you go to batteryhookup.com, I mean, this is not an affiliate thing. This is just something that I love their website, but batteryhookup.com, they have really good priced batteries because they get a lot of them used, but they thoroughly test them. Sometimes they get new stuff, but their prices are always great. I've never been disappointed with batteryhookup.com. So check them out because they have a lot of wacky stuff too. Like they'll get EV car batteries that like are horribly shaped and like not something you would like buy off the shelf, at a store, but sometimes you get incredible deals on them. So yeah, check that place out. Oh, which poster? I guess there's only one poster, right? My Mr. Rogers poster. That's yeah. If there's anybody who I look up to more, I can't think of it. Mr. Rogers is just the epitome of kindness, and yeah, I'm a huge fan. The one right by my head. That's actually it's not a poster, obviously. It's a magazine cover. One Christmas, I think, or maybe for a birthday, my wife got me one of those shadow boxes. It's a frame with like glass in the front, but then there's like room inside. And so that's the cover to the very first issue of Linux Journal I was ever published. In fact, the first time I was ever published at all was in that issue. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. Oh, in the US. Oh, good. Very, yeah. So, yeah, batteryhookup.com. Love that site. They're awesome. And I've had stuff shipped and it's always reliable, and you can contact them. They're pretty decent people too. I haven't had to call them about stuff, but I know people who have talked to them and they've always been really, really good about stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, boy, I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but like you can get the holders, and okay, this is starting to feel like a commercial for batteryhookup.com, but they actually sell the plastic things and also the nickel strips. And I don't think they sell the spot welders, but basically you get these little honeycomb things where you can just like pop the things in and you line them up perfectly, and you can create your own custom battery packs. And yeah, that's one of the things I want to use my desk for, is creating custom sized battery packs someday for some super good reason. I don't know. In fact, right now, batteryhookup.com has some 48 volt e-bike batteries that are just pretty slick. Like it's a decent size for, like in itself, you don't have to like redo anything. So yeah, I'm gonna stop now because I'm starting to feel weird about like giving them so many plugs, but they're awesome. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Rogers does rock. He's awesome. Gosh, I'm a big Mr. Rogers fan. So he was a father figure of mine growing up. I grew up single mom, and yeah, Mr. Rogers was a father figure. And this is going to seem ridiculous, but it's true. I swear it's true. A fictional character, but Jean-Luc Picard. I always looked up to him as well, and I think I could have done worse. I could have done a lot worse. Linux Journal, is that? I assume that's what you're referring to. If that's what you mean, no. My first tech job was tech support. And then my first career job was the tech director for a K-12 school. And then I worked at a university. I've always kind of been into education, but, when I was working at the university, CBT Nuggets, got me going part-time making videos for them. And it's Linux Journal got me into, like, the videos I made for Linux Journal is what got CBT Nuggets to indirectly hire me. Wow. That was a long path to get to what I was saying. But, yeah, I've always been into education, and, that was Linux Journal opened a lot of doors for me to get hired for things like CBT Nuggets. So, Google SwitchBot button pusher. Oh, like physical, like, okay, now that would be cool. I gotta say that would kind of be cool. Unrelated, but have you seen those pointless boxes where like you flip a switch and then it opens and a finger will come out and like turn the switch back off? I love those things. I don't know why. They just they give me joy. Father figure date. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I mean, yeah, that was the show of my youth. The Next Generation is my Star Trek, right? I mean, I can appreciate the original series, but that was before my impressionable years. The Next Generation was the Star Trek that I grew up loving. Where do I find those excellent examples to teach Linux? I guess it depends on the individual example. First of all, thank you. I appreciate that. That was a pretty slick little compliment there, but I'll take it. Thank you. Excuse me. Either I make crap up or I make crap up based on something that I've experienced as a system administrator over the years. Yeah, it's, I don't know. My big thing about teaching is I want people to not just be able to recite what they learn. I want people to, be able to problem solve their way through a question, like whether it's on a test or like an interview or something. And the only way that you're really going to be able to navigate that stuff is if you understand why you're doing what you're doing and like how a certain tool will be good or not good. So I don't know. I more than teaching people tools, I want people to be able to add tools to their quiver of problem solving ability. I think I said all those words correctly. So yeah, that's it. I mostly make stuff up, but a lot of it's based on issues that I've struggled with. 4 years ago, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I really like Mr. Rogers a lot. So, I mean, yeah. Anyway, I could wax philosophic about him, but he's awesome. Scotty from the original series for my tech enthusiasm. So there was something that my first boss when I worked at a K-12 school as a tech director, and that was directly after my car accident. And I know I'm going into like the history of Sean pretty deep here, but I had a car accident and I hit my head and don't remember stuff. But when I got the job there, his name was Dale. It was my boss. He hired me even against the recommendations of some people. Anyway, he hired me. I was grateful. And one of the biggest things he taught me when working with other people is always to under promise and over deliver. And he used Scotty as his example. He's like, whenever you watch Star Trek, Scotty's like, Captain, it's going to take me 12 hours. And then, he'll do it like in 3 hours and then he's a hero. But if he would say, I can probably do it in 3 hours and it takes him 3.5, well, then he's a laggard. So the whole notion of under promise and over deliver I got from Dale, and it was incredibly good. From Iran. Awesome. Well, thank you. Sam, again, I'll take compliments. I appreciate that very much. Any cool Linuxy projects this year? I hope so. I hope I have some cool Linux projects because, like I said, I made that workbench, which I pointed to earlier. I'll point to it really again because I don't know if everybody was here, but see that workbench over there? Oh, yeah. I really hope to be able to utilize it for stuff because I have cameras and everything over there as well, or will have cameras over there so that I can, I want to solder stuff, doggone it. I'm really bad at soldering, but I want to do that sort of stuff. So yeah, definitely hopefully it's going to be a great year. I grew up with, I grew up in inner city Detroit, right near Dearborn. And, one of my mom's, actually several of my mom's friends, were from Iran. And it's one of the things I wish I remembered because they would have us over for food and stuff. And my mom still has like a really nice little rug that was a gift, like a Persian rug, maybe. I don't know. It was a really fancy rug though. And some of those things I wish I remembered from my youth and I don't. So yeah, it's sad. Food is the thing I really wish I remembered. Mason, bye. Thanks for stopping by. You made me panic. I thought I was going over. Yeah, have a great New Year's Day, and yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, towards the end, it was getting not so great. A couple of the videos, literally I phoned in with my phone, but we made it. And today is day 91, but no, I'm not going to keep going. Yeah. Relics. Oh, I know. Oh, where Scotty was stuck in the pattern buffer for all those years. And, yes. And yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is exactly right. Dwayne, I forgot that was actually in an episode as well. Where, yeah, he told LaForge under promise over deliver. So yeah, exactly. I am of the opinion that it takes more than two hands to solder. Now, I got one of those things where it's like a heavy metal, not like, heavy metal, but like it's made of metal and it's heavy with like alligator clip things to like hold stuff. And with that, I'm a little bit better, but some people are so amazing at soldering and I am not one of those people. So I hope to get better because, I've had to solder some things in the past, and like the scariest one I ever did is when I modded our original Xbox, like Xbox, not Xbox One, but like the Xbox, like the original Xbox. I had to mod it using a mod chip and soldering and stuff, and I was so worried that I was going to screw it up, and it was UGLY, but I did manage to get it going. So yeah. Uh, yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. If I make a robot and it takes over, it's just gonna be doing like bird watching, right? I mean, any robot I'm gonna make, uh, it's just gonna be like, ooh, let's watch all the birds at once, and there'll be like drones all over the planet just looking at birds, not doing anything nefarious, just like looking at birds. Oh, soldering, hot iron, flux, and practice. Yeah, and I'm still of the opinion a third hand, Scott. I'm sure I'll get better at it, but yeah, I enjoy it. I'm just not good at it. So oh, now I gotta look. Oh, okay. So I couldn't see it on the little chat window, but then when I popped it up, I can see. Yeah, another Star Trek fan. We're a bunch of nerds. Do a soldering live stream, make a fool of myself. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm certain that there will be some point this year that I burn myself with a soldering iron because I burn myself all the time with a soldering iron, and I'm sure I'll do it on video at some point. I am a big fan of Mastodon. And if you listen to me on like Catherine, I don't know if Catherine's still here, but like if you listen to me on their podcast multiple times, I was hesitant and a bit grumbly about Mastodon. Like there's some things I don't love about Mastodon. The searching issue is tough. The lack of retweeting or quote tweeting or quote tweeting or whatever. I know that was the dev's decision, but I think that's a weird choice, like a weird hill to die on. But the idea of more than just Mastodon, the idea of a federated, decentralized social media platform, that's what I have fallen in love with. And I really love Mastodon. I do, and I'm using it, obviously. But the idea behind it, I like a lot. I think I'm going to install Friendster. Is it Friendster? That was a thing. Friendica. That's the thing. It's designed for longer form stuff. And I know that I could modify the code in Mastodon to allow for longer posts too. But anyway, yeah, I'm a big fan of, oh, and Catherine is still here too. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Mastodon, a bigger fan of federated social media in general. So, the PlayStation mod chip. Yeah. So I never modded my PlayStation. I don't know what happened to my maybe we lost it in the fire before. No, cause I modded the Xbox at that old house. I don't know. I never did mod the PlayStation. I modded the Xbox, and yeah, it was scary. And then after I did a hardware mod, there was a software mod for the Xbox, and I was like, I can't believe I soldered, and I didn't even have to. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, that's probably not healthy for you either. I gotta think that there's some things you wouldn't want to be melted. I've only ever burnt myself with the soldering iron itself, not with solder, but both would feel not good. Yeah, that's always a concern of mine. That was my concern with the Xbox, is that I would destroy the device by fat fingering or fat soldering things together, because there was like just a couple tiny little spots that I had to solder, and I was so scared. So, okay, Catherine, does this just basically make your blog at that point another federated thing? I mean, does it then have like a at something address, or how does that activity pub connected to WordPress work? I'm not sure how that fits into the bigger Fediverse. So yeah, that's something I don't know. Also, Friendica, which is like the longer form version of, it's like Mastodon but longer form, and with some other things too. The thing is, migrating followers works from Mastodon instance to Mastodon instance, big asterisk, like the other, that has to be like portable set on the other server or whatever. But there's not a way to go from like Mastodon to Friendica right now. And that bums me out. I wish there was a standard for migrating, so you could just, make that transition a little bit easier. Yeah, so many. So that's the, yes. And Catherine did answer too. So the answer is federation. They talk to each other. It's easier to think of your Mastodon account as an email address. It's like your username at your domain. And that's basically what a Mastodon thing is. It's like, I'm at Sean Powers with the 0 for the O at nerdlings.net. And then my username becomes that whole thing. And so then I follow somebody else at a different server, and then behind the scenes, the servers talk to each other. So it really doesn't matter what server you're on. For the most part, again, there's a big asterisk there too, because there's issues with, some servers end up getting blocked if there's a lot of unmoderated nastiness going on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, the idea is that rather than, it's kind of like thinking like what your Twitter handle is, like mine is Sean Powers at twitter.com. And it would be just like that if there was more than one twitter.com. Like what if there was like localized like twitter.ca and, all those things, you would still be able to follow each other. That's how Federation works. Regardless of what server you're on, you can follow another server because behind the scenes, they talk to each other, which is exactly what Catherine said in here as well. And I think you can follow the blog from your Mastodon. That's what I want to find. That's what I'm curious about. So if you get it set up, Catherine, let me know so I can like help experiment and try to follow blogs and see what it looks like. Right? I'm truly curious what it looks like. Like, will it send a link to the blog? Will it just send the text of the blog? What's it going to look like? I don't know. I truly don't know. So yeah, I'm curious about that as well. Emmanuel, Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you. And if I missed somebody's comment, I did just kind of like scroll through a whole bunch of stuff. If I missed something, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. Please just ask me again. You can follow PeerTube accounts. So that's the thing. Yeah, PeerTube. What I wonder though is, I realize that they are just like, you can follow Friendica accounts too, like on Mastodon and vice versa. But what I don't know is like, do you have to like switch completely to PeerTube? It's weird, right? Like I want to have one place. Like if I am posting a video, it'd be nice to be able to post a video from my Mastodon account using PeerTube technology. I would rather them be somehow hooked together. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. And I know it's all so young, and by young, I mean like as far as adopted, as how many people have adopted it. It's pretty young technology, so it will certainly get better and stuff. But anyway, all right, settled, awesome, and yeah, let me know and I'll follow and see what it looks like. I mean, if well, depending on why you're giving your dog a bath. If your dog got skunked, yeah, that's not a fun evening. But sometimes dogs like baths. We don't have a bathtub in our house, which is weird. I don't know why we thought that was a good idea when we did our remodeling before we moved in, but we don't have a bathtub at all. And that makes me sad. We have showers. I mean, we do clean ourselves, but we don't have an actual bathtub. Yeah, don't bathe the cat. That's, you're asking for stitches. Cat bathers get stitches. Oh, anyway, was there anything else I wanted to, oh, yes, I was going to talk about it and I didn't. Okay. It's funny, Dwayne, that here, I'm going to show the thing. It's funny that that was moderated, the comment about your Shih Tzu dog, because of, I thought it was improper. I don't know if I can set those, because there was another light profanity that I had to like approve earlier on. But anyway, I got a pizza stone for Christmas, and it's like 20 inches by 16 inches. That's a pretty good size pizza stone. I don't know what that is in metric, but it's still pretty good size. And our oven, I didn't even know this, but our oven goes up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit. Most ovens, like most household ovens, will go to 500. But I found out today that ours goes to 550, which is awesome, because I was able to make some amazing pizza today. I haven't made pizza that good maybe ever. It was so amazing. So I'm really looking for, I got a pizza stone and then a pizza peel. If you're not familiar with a pizza peel, it's just basically it's like a big giant spatula, and it's just, to get underneath the whole pizza. And yeah, I was so excited. The thing about a broiler though, I'm sorry. I thought that was the same. Yeah. So yeah. And I thought that, I could always turn the broiler on, but then our broiler is just on the top and then the bottom doesn't get hot. So it just comes from the top and it's not an even thing. So yeah, I know someday I'd love to have a pizza oven, but I'm happy right now with our pizza oven. I don't need it over 800 degrees. 550 is good. And the pizza stone gets hot enough and it's big enough that it cooks the pizza pretty quickly, like about 7 minutes, and a pizza is done, which is just awesome. It's one of the best way to take one of my CompTIA courses. So, it's a complicated answer, but I'll do my best. So currently, I don't work at CBT Nuggets. Currently, I am releasing videos on my YouTube channel, and I am doing a Linux Plus course, actually. It's been slow going, and I hope I can get back on track to get it going quickly. And so that's the best way to get, like, my current stuff is all released on YouTube. There's no paid version of new stuff that I'm making. It's just on YouTube. I do have older stuff that CBT Nuggets, it's still in the CBT Nuggets catalog. And again, I'm not a part of that. I don't get commissions or royalties or, so I'm not plugging CBT Nuggets for any other reason than that's where my stuff is. They own all of the content that I made when I worked for them. And so a lot of my content is still available there. So far now I have the Linux Essentials course completed on my YouTube channel. And then I have started Linux Plus, and we'll continue to do that as well. So that's the answer. 9-inch pizza stone. Oh yeah. Magic. Yeah. Yeah, that's not great. Sorry about that. I got this really big one. I wanted to have, my thought was if I got a really big pizza stone, I could put 2 pizzas in at once. That's not practical. However, what I didn't realize is just how fast they would cook. So if I can cook a pizza in like 7 minutes, it's okay if I can just cook one at a time. And that giant pizza stone, 16 inches by 20 inches, retains enough heat that it cooks it fast, and as soon as I pull one out, I can put the next one in. So yeah, I've been happy. I've made 3 whole pizzas with it, but so far that's been my experience. It's been pretty great. And I'm a pretty happy camper. The other thing I got for Christmas is an incredibly nice coffee grinder. And, I've had it's a Baratza Encore is the grinder that I've had in my Amazon wish list for literally a couple years. And I'm like, I just couldn't justify getting it for myself. My daughter and her fiance, didn't know that was in my list, but she did the same research that I did and determined that was the best, grinder that was for an affordable price. And so she ended up getting me the exact grinder that I've wanted for years. And it is even nicer than I expected. It's very quiet because I had a Cuisinart coffee grinder. They're like, I don't know, like $80 at Bed Bath & Beyond. I had one. It's super loud, but worse than that, it doesn't give consistent grinds. Like it will grind up and about a third of it is this powder that ends up sticking to the wall of the chamber. It's frustrating, right? This new Baratza Encore one is quiet, which I didn't know. That's just a very pleasant surprise, but it grinds everything so uniform and so wonderful. Mwah, I'm so happy with it. And so, yeah, I can get whole bean coffee again and not get frustrated with my grounds. And that's it. That's what I got. I mean, I got some other stuff, but those are the two super cool food related stuff. Yeah, Catherine, I think you have the same grinder that I did, right? The Cuisinart coffee grinder, and it like kind of shoots the weird powder against the side of the plastic thing. And yeah. And so I just always annoyed me. And so anyway, yeah, the new one, if you were wondering, the Baratza Encore, oh my goodness, is it a nice grinder. I'm so happy with it. And like I said, I didn't know that it was going to be quiet, but it's so much quieter than that Cuisinart as well. It's been so nice. Yeah, I have used that frequently, and I'm no regrets to having that in my wish list and then magically getting it for Christmas. Yes, I'm gonna make myself hang up here in 1 minute because I try really hard not to go longer than an hour. Sam, it's been great to have you. We do this every week, so I hope you can join us because it's. I do have weekend assignments usually that. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. Yeah, if you want me to do stuff, let me know. The weekend assignment is in the description of this video. It was basically just what kind of stuff would you like to see for 2023. So yeah. And I'm not a big cold brew person, but I could see that being weird because you want it to be consistently ground. So anyway, okay. There's a lot. I have less than a minute to go, so I will end with this one. I have a manual burr grinder too, and I would make coffee with it. It takes so long though. I would put the beans in, I'm like, and it takes so long. I feel like I earned that pot of coffee when it finally grinds all the beans. So I do have one. And recently I've used it to grind peppercorns when I make sourdough. I like Parmesan pepper sourdough. I'll use that manual burr grinder to grind up the peppercorns, coarse ground them. So anyway, yes, that is a bird grinder. No, I don't have a bird grinder. I'm a vegetarian. So anyway, on that note, thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to end the first video of the year with the tagline, right? Learn everything, do what you love, and most importantly, be kind. Thanks again. I love these live streams. I always look forward to them. Even though like the last one was on Christmas, I still enjoyed it. So thanks again. And I'll see everybody on the YouTube channel and on the internets and all that kind of stuff. Have a good one. And now this is the awkward time where I try to stop it. All right. I'll see everybody next time.